a 3-minute egg, it would be 6 minutes. Is this the Oklahoma State Lottery? This will be to see who meets up with Hoist Gracie in the first round. The number is 2. Who has number 2? Mr. Ron Van Cleef. Leave it on, Ray. Given how long that thing takes to warm up, we don't want to be here. Number 5. Joe Son, Joe, come up here to the podium. We're going to select the next number, and you'll see who you'll be meeting in that first round. And the number is 1. Who has number 1? Mr. Keith Hacker. Woo! Number 4. Mr. Bowen. Mr. Bowen and Mr. Jenna. Number 3, and what's that last number, Ray? 6. Mr. Macias. And Mr. Severin.
Sure. Okay, Keith, I saw your bout last time when you fought the sumo wrestler. What do you anticipate for your first fight here?
Who I'm going to fight or how I'm going to fight? I know who I'm going to fight. But as far as strategy, I really don't know that much about him. I know he's in Taekwondo and he's got his own system that he founded. I really don't know much about him.
Joe Son?
Right.
Okay, and he was Chemo's trainer in
Right.
UFC.
Right.
Okay, thank you very much. Good luck.
Yeah, sure.
This is Chemo. He fought in UFC 3 against Hoist Gracie. Chemo's on it. This time I see your trainer. How do you think he's going to do it?
I have 100% confidence in him that he's going to do very well in this fight. I like the draw. Everything came out so far going very well.
Good matchups?
Yeah, very good matchups.
Do you anticipate competing in future UFC?
Well, right now I'm kind of signed a contract with the Japanese for 3 fights over there. This is where I just got back from fighting in Tokyo, so maybe down the road. Right now I don't see it.
Okay. How do you compare the UFC challenges to the Japanese fights?
The fight I fought over there basically was the same thing, except it was a tournament. It was a one-on-one type of deal, so very similar.
One fight, one night?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it's better? In UFC 3, you fought Hoist, and although he won the match, you hurt him to the point he couldn't continue on after that. So, do you have any feelings like you really won that fight, or what's your opinion?
Okay, answer the first part of that question. I like it better just a one-on-one, one-person fight. You know beforehand who you're going to fight. You can train for that opponent more than you can just throw your opponent at you who you're going to fight. As for the Hoist fight, it's kind of really the past. I don't dwell on the past. What happened is what happened. So I just look on to the future.
All right, let's talk to you. Your first opponent is Keith Hackney. How do you anticipate going against Keith?
Doesn't matter who I go up against. Because you're really not going to see me. You see the Holy Spirit that's inside of me when I'm in the ring.
Okay. So your fight is going to be guided by God.
Everything in my life is guided by God. I may not live another 5 minutes. That's what I believe. True.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we get an interview with you? My name is Richard Clary. I'm from Hardcore and television show. I'm also a martial art instructor, and I have a show called Hardcore. Background of the show. He is going to be fighting in the alternate round, correct?
Yeah. They translated speaking to me, ele é um cara que faz um programa de televisão, ele vai estar entrevistando a gente e talvez todos já possam ver
Now the Brazilian Army
capoeira.
Okay, now I know a little bit about that as far as
It's called method of dying in your flesh. Write it down, baby. Write it down.
What about that art makes it something that you work in this type of situation?
Ele está falando que ele já viu capoeira em Rio, que mostra você tem a mesma coisa que o pessoal, ele quer sair, ele está perguntando a mesma coisa, que
I'm hanging around this guy.
capoeira, você boa, não se conhece desse vai. Fala com ele que a capoeira é Angola, regional e mandinga. Angola joga no chão, regional joga em pé, que é o que ele vê. E a mandinga da capoeira não é mostrada. Vai, só vai ver no final. Porque se a capoeira é street style, Angola, regional and mandinga. Angola, you play close to the ground. Regional, you play standing up, dancing. Mandinga, it's real fight. And people have seen Angola and regional all over. But nobody has seen their mandinga because of real fight. That's what he's going to show.
All right, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Good luck.
Entrance, yes.
Okay, my name is Richard Clary, and here we have a Thai boxer that's going to be in the UFC 4. This is your first UFC 4. Now, have you watched the previous UFCs?
I've seen every UFC. I've seen
Every one. Okay, did you see the UFC fighter that was a Thai boxer before?
Orlando Wheat.
Orlando Wheat from Holland. Now, Orlando had real success in his first fight. The second fight, it seemed like he lost because he was
Not much of a ground fighter.
Right. So do you have
I'm
a
a
background?
two-time state champion wrestler.
Okay, so you have a varied background.
Yeah, I've been in karate since I was 10. I got 2 black belts. I got that when I was 16. All this is just life to me.
Right. So, although they label you a Thai boxer, you're much more rounded than that. You're going to be comfortable no matter where the fight takes you. Right. Okay. Now, do you have any specific strategy or considering your first opponent?
Hurt their legs.
Hurt the legs? You want to bang them up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it's been nice interviewing you. Good luck. Last night I watched all the UFCs and I was impressed by coming in after having to sit all that time and not really knowing whether you were going to get a fight or not. Now your style is ninjutsu, and you trained under which jiu-jitsu organization?
Actually, I haven't been with jiu-jitsu for about 5 years.
Okay, so in other words, they label most of the fighters as one discipline or another. What type of background in martial arts do you have then?
I have a background in, started off in Taekwondo. I studied traditional ninjutsu, and also studied and then I've done a lot of studying on my own too, working in the West. So basically, we create an innovative martial arts strategy. What that is it's just a combination of the best things.
Works.
Absolutely. We don't have any type of traditional restraints or anything that keeps us from using that work. So we work out of all different ranges. We work out of the kicking range, the punching range, knees and elbows. Then we work, inside sweeping, grappling. A lot of things that I've been taught in the police department also, as far as like pressure point control tactics, those type of things come into play also. And they've been researched out real well in the medical field.
Right.
That's real good.
Okay, do you think the pressure point type system is applicable to a fight, brawl type of situation that's in the UFC, where really you're not trying to restrain them, you're trying to get them to submit completely in a short amount of time?
Depending on the situation, I mean, obviously you're not going to run in there and find pressure points. But, say we're on the ground maybe and he's got me a headlock or something, and I could use maybe a pressure point to break out of that headlock.
Now, in your first fight, you fought in the finals, the very first round, and a lot of people heard, among the circle of people that watched it, that some people thought, well, that's kind of wrong for an an alternate to get in and fight one fight when these other guys are getting hurt. How do you think the system is as far as set up that you fight several times within one night? Do you think that it would be better to schedule it over a time period, or do you think the one-day tournament type thing is good enough to stick?
I think eventually you might see a little more of a fight card where, after a while they get some rankings together, and then you see, like number one, number two guy go together, and there'll be some preliminary type bouts. It's possible. I think once the caliber of the fighters increases, and I think you've seen that over the first three, that there's going to be a little problem with the length of the fight. Once you get two experienced ground fighters going together, I mean, they've had fights that go for quite a while. And obviously, you can't get that all within 2 hours if you get a bunch of guys that are experienced ground fighters.
Many times in a real street fight, you have one person that wins, although he might win by, killing another opponent, he might be injured himself. And, same thing even in a situation like this where we haven't had any serious injuries in the UFC for 1 through 3 yet. But do you anticipate somebody eventually getting seriously hurt in these contests?
It's a possibility. As long as the grapplers are dominating, the problem lies where you get maybe 2 stand-up fighters that go in there without gloves. They're not really sure how to fight on the ground, but they just kind of pound each other in the head. That can happen. Look at boxing, they have gloves on, and still that can happen.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you talking.
Sure thing.
And I'm kind of excited to see somebody from the Greco wrestling group and the Sambo. What kind of advantage do you think that's going to give you against a person oriented towards more kickboxing? Talk to your opponent, your first opponent. What kind of strategy do you think you're going to use to counter this?
Well, he's got to get close enough to take my legs, doesn't he? Then when he does to take my legs, I'll take him.
Now, you're the largest one in this UFC. There's been some very big guys in the past that have made a difference with a big, heavy guy like 600 pounds, 400 pounds. But do you feel that this gives you an advantage if you progress through and go into the first fight, second fight? Do you think your size is going to give you an advantage as far as...
Well, exactly what you said before. I mean, size didn't really make a difference whatsoever in the past UFCs. I mean, my size is just strictly genetic structure at this point in time. You can't pick your parents, but I am what I am.
Don't you think it gives you an advantage?
Well, I think it will give me a little bit of an advantage, you bet.
Okay. All right, thanks. And matter of fact, my background is in boxing. When I got into martial arts, I first started with boxing. I felt it gave me a good base. Is boxing your primary base of combat? So you're a professional boxer, and that's what you train for primarily.
That's all I train for, boxing. I've been boxing since I was 8 years old, basically all my life.
Okay, what inspired you to get into UFC 4 where there aren't the rules that you have in boxing?
Well, my manager asked me, and I said, sure, let's do it.
Okay, have you seen the UFC 1?
Yeah, that's
the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a boxer in that, and he wore a glove on one of his hands.